Welcome back, everyone, to the final day of NALCS Super Week. Right now, we're joined by Claky D from Marn with a fantastic win over Complexity. You guys did it in style. And coming out, we were like, Aurelia is going to get banned. Twisted Fate's going to get banned. But were you surprised they left Riven open?
We were most shocked about them leaving TF and Shen open. We had played them previously in the LCS, and we had picked a TF Shen comp, and we did really, really well against them, and we ended up taking a victory against them with that comp. And so they know, especially my brother knows, that we run TF and Shen, and so it was like really surprising when they didn't ban either, and they didn't first pick either one of them either. So we got to 1 and 2 pick both of those picks, and my team was like really freaking out. They thought it was like some kind of bait, like they had some like secret tactic to counter it.
Wow.
But they ended up letting us have TF and Shen, and that's like what we're really, really the most comfortable on.
And then just to boot with Riven. Wow.
Didn't look like they had any secrets in store for you guys. I mean, it was very visible that you were happy with the champions, but then also the level 1. It looked like you guys did some good preparation for that. Can you walk us through what happened?
Yeah, we've seen them run their level 1 strat before, especially when they have Jason, they have the level 1 gate. So as soon as the game starts, they all buy and they all run straight up through top lane. And they use the gate to get there as fast as possible, and they use the Thresh. From what I know is that he goes into like the Baron pit and like hooks or whatever over into the tri-bush to try to catch somebody. So we're familiar with that. We've seen them do it. They haven't done it to us, but we've seen them do it before. And so we just assumed that they were going to do it again. So what we did was we put a ward in the tri-bush that they were going to invade before they got there, and then camped in our red bush. And then they kind of came, and I saw Thresh throw a hook, and I think he just missed the bush, and then they came in, and then I taunted them, and then we ended up getting 2 kills.
So playing Shen in the jungle, we kind of see him more in the top lane and whatnot. Knowing he doesn't get as fat, doesn't get as beefy towards the late game. How do you counter that, and why do you like him in the jungle?
Shen is overall like a slow jungler, especially in the early phases of the game. But once you hit 6 with Shen, he creates so much pressure in the entire game and around the entire map. And that's what I really like about him. And like his split pushing is really good. And so when I play Shen, I'm really calm and relaxed. And I can like, when I get to a certain point in the game, I get to split push and it's much easier to make calls like when I'm not like, when I can just look around the map and see things. And also everybody has to be scared of the Shen ult. Like the other team's going to be scared to make plays, and they know that the other team can make plays on them with the Shen ult. And I just think Shen's like one of the best junglers.
It definitely showed. A lot of people also talk about how Marn is very momentum-based, and after a successful level 1 like that, what kind of goes through your team's communication? You guys just hand out ham sandwiches to everybody? We're going hard now, guys. Aggressive all game long?
After we got the first 2 kills from the level 1, the team was like getting really, really happy, and me and Echo kind of had to try to calm everybody down. They're like, look, it was just like, we got 2 kills, the game's not over, like we still need to play. And like, they were celebrating already, and I was like, guys, it's just 2 kills. Like, come on, focus, relax. And so we just tried to play a slower game, even though like everybody was really excited and everybody wanted to keep going ham. But instead, I try to keep everybody like calm and make sure we play safe so we can secure the victory.
And the question I've been asking everybody, besides the roster changes and whatnot, Marn, from the beginning of the season to Marn now, what have been the big changes?
Nian, putting Nian on AD and moving Heartbeat to support were the biggest changes. And as you can see from the past 2 games that we played today, and even the games that we lost earlier this week, Nian has been performing really, really well. I think the past 2 games is KDA. Like, he died once when he dove the fountain that game, and he should have had 0 deaths both games and double-digit kills. So Nian's been really, really good, and Heartbeat's becoming a very, very strong support player.
Awesome.
Who's the main one calling out your team comps? I mean, you were surprised that they gave you those first 2 picks. Then who's the one after that that says, okay, so we already got TF and Shen. What do we do after that?
We kind of know, we've played together for so long now that we know what we're playing, like what champs we're comfortable with. And you saw Mega got like he got 2 bans on him, and they banned Jarvan. And so I got the Shen for myself. Even though Mega can play Shen, I wanted to take Shen to the jungle. And we got the TF for Echo. And we're like, what's good for Mega Zero here? And he's like, oh, they left Riven open. And we're like, okay, let's play Riven. Riven sounds really strong right here. And then we also decided on the Twitch Sona for a really, really strong team fight. And so it's kind of like a team decision overall.
So coming into Super Week, you guys, for a final question, you guys did very well. What preparation and what did you guys change coming into the week that has made such a change?
We've just been practicing really hard and just trying to coordinate well as a team and just, becoming closer as like friends in general. Like earlier in an interview with one of the GGU players, they said like being friends with your team makes it easier to talk about what's going wrong and fix it. And so that's what's really happening with us too. So it's really nice.
Awesome. Well, it's great to see all the teams doing a lot better, mixing up the standings as well, and finding some final spots as the week comes to a close. Congratulations on the win and the rest of the LCS, I should say. And all right, guys, with the last match of the day about to get underway, let's take a look at those standings. After going 5-0 this week, Team Solo Mid finishes the NA LCS Spring Split in first place. And no matter what happens against Vulcan, Curse will be in second.
In third place, it's Scar and Dignitas, while Hotshot and CLG have fourth locked down.
Vulcan is in control of their own destiny, beat Curse in the next match, and they take fifth. Lose, and they're sixth because GGU owns the head-to-head tiebreaker.
And rounding out the NA LCS Spring standings in seventh place is Marn and Complexity in eighth.
And now it's time for our final match of the Spring Split, Vulcan versus Curse. So much Marn happening. It was such a good game. It's not out of my head. Like we said, Vulcan can take fifth place in the Spring Split with a win, but Curse has dominated them all 3 times they've played this season.
Yeah, Vulcan have never killed Elements, and Cop has only died once. Their combined score in 3 games versus Vulcan is 22-1-45 for that bottom lane. So if Vulcan win, they're going to play CLG in the playoffs, and if they lose, then they're going to play Dignitas. I talked to the manager of GGU. He actually said they really wanted to play CLG, so GGU are hoping that Vulcan actually lose this one, but we'll have to see how that turns out. This week, Vulcan lost to CLG, and they beat Dignitas, though,
yep.
So it might be a little bit backwards for them. We'll have to see.
Well, it's right now time for tonight's starting lineups as we get underway. In the blue corner, it's Vulcan. Psycho Sid in the top lane, Smithy in the jungle, Mandatory Cloud in mid, Zuna on AD, and Bloodwater at support.
And in the red corner, we've got Curse. Voyboy is up top, St. Vicious is in the jungle, Jackie's at middle, Cop is on AD, and Elements is on that support.
And the last time these guys met, it was more of a kind of AoE Russian composition with a Rumble Zed comp. We'll have to see if they can do that again. I don't think it's going to be allowed to have happen by Curse here.
Yeah, Curse definitely going to ban out at least a few crucial parts for that AoE comp. They've been really good about doing their homework. I mean, Curse, even more than a lot of the other teams, they research very far back into your team's history, and they'll look at what they can do to exploit whatever strategies you're looking at.
We'll have to see in this match, right? One team has done the AoE. Vulcan has also come out with Polk. But Curse is kind of, we saw St. Vicious pushed onto Nautilus. We saw that kind of throw him out of his comfort zone. If they do choose to focus Nautilus as well, or focus St. Vicious as well as TSM did, then maybe they can put that hurting on Curse. Everybody wants to try to get them lower and lower just because of what they did in the beginning of the season. Everybody wants that revenge.
Yeah. St. Vicious has actually said that he thinks Nautilus is going to be one of the most contested picks in a few weeks in the LCS. It hasn't happened yet, and the early showing by him in that game didn't do much to help the situation, but that was really their whole team was kind of behind at that point. So we'll have to see if they actually return to that, and they want to go through with one of those strategies. It looks like Elements had a few problems with his computer, so we're just going to switch that one out. We don't want anybody to have some mid-game problems, so we'll start off fresh here.
And last time, Curse actually was a little creative in their play style. We do know that Voyboy plays other champions. We saw him on that Gragas play today. But as well, it's going to be Katarina last time they played. So AP heavy against Vulcan is something that they like. Maybe it's something they like against the Poke composition or the AoE composition that Vulcan brings to the table.
During the downtimes there, I specifically requested a jungle Kassadin from St. Vicious, and he said he would oblige. However, I still don't trust him.
I wouldn't. He's going to hang out to dry once again. They all get you, everybody.
You can see it. He's not even happy about it. He's just like, yeah, okay.
He's going to lock it in. Then you'll see a smile on his face, and then he'll switch to it, and we will have that. But if you're just joining us here in the NA LCS, if you've stayed up from the EU LCS, Super Troopers, huge thumbs up to you and pat on the back. You guys are absolutely amazing, but so are you guys in NA for staying up, watching it, because I know you're going to go all the way on through to the EU LCS, which is going to be a little bit more of a gap. But
Marathon
it'll be there.
League watching.
Marathon League. 40 games over these 5 days.
Oh, yeah. That's more than you can even ask for.
Yeah. No, I could ask for more.
Okay. I guess you could.
Tons of games, and I'm sure the fans could too. They would have loved bonus coverage tonight.
Oh, yeah, especially more 1v1s. If we could get – I've seen so many requests after the Wicked SOAS thing just exploded.
Let's do this one.
It would be so fun. I mean, I was actually thinking a really interesting thing they could do, instead of tiebreakers, we could have like soccer penalty shots, and we just call up one person from each team when so much is on the line and just be like, okay, now it's up to you. 1v1 in the middle. Let's see what happens.
Who do you have? And they're like,
it's kind of unfair to the rest of the team.
We pick toys, and you're like, oh, man. Oh dear, man.
It would be a little bit imbalanced. This is a team game, but they're just so fun to watch. I love the 1v1 action. It just – there's so much excitement that builds and the tension.
Absolutely. And as we wait here, we are switching out Element's computer. And that's what we kind of are waiting on as we did the lineups and waiting to get into champion select. We're going to get that fixed up for them, back into the game. You need your support. It helps. That's why they're called that.
They'll be right there, always behind you guys.
So Vulcan in preparation for their games. And actually, it's great to stand back kind of between the games if you're obviously not doing an interview or something or here on the desk, and you listen to the players go in and out, or you listen to them practice. Marn, in the beginning, they'll take Elise in, and they'll go one-on-one, but they'll do it for $5, right? Yeah. And Vulcan is known to do it for tacos. They'll be like, this one's for 2 tacos. This one's for 3 tacos.
There's some big stakes, actually, on these pregame warm-ups. When they're sitting at these computers, they pick 2 people at a time, go 1v1 on that bridge. I don't know. Which would you rather have, $5 or tacos? Because you can buy a taco with $5.
You can buy 5 tacos.
But depending on where you get them, the quality of the taco does degrade.
Indeed, but the quality of the games do not here in Super Week. Upsets in the beginning, ups and downs throughout the midsection, kind of like you're not having a Nunu on a Caitlyn. Oh, man, but you needed the blood boil. And then back to amazing matches to start it off. A definitive win for Marn over Complexity. And to end off Super Week, Week 10 of the North American LCS split, Vulcan versus Curse.
If you're not hyped up after that last game we just saw by Marn, I don't know what you've been watching, because that was one of the most exciting games that's happened in a while. There we go. Starting to get some smiles. Curse are getting into it too. They know this is the very last of the spring split for us North Americans. However, we're going to have playoffs come up after this. Then we'll roll into those all-star matches. There's plenty more in store for you.
And Curse actually being in first the whole time, right? It's hard being that pole position leader. That must have been in their mind the entire year, knowing that, you know, a few games in the end means that somebody else could be first place, and riding that all the time. It is pressure. Both Elements and St. Vicious, I think everybody on the team has expressed it at one point, and it's kind of relieved, but they know they still can throw themselves into a good spot here.
Yeah, it really kind of came to light last week. Some issues came out between the members, but they seem to have hashed it out.
Yep.
They're on the same page now. They did drop a couple games. They can't get past TSM now. TSM have secured their spot at the top, just coming in on the very last day. They love to make it a nail biter. You know, they're theatrical. This team that started a reality show. It's kind of as if it was planned there.
Somebody's got some good writing, but no, done it themselves. Really came from behind, made just like everybody else roster changes when they needed to be made, and it was applicable. Right? They have proved everyone wrong. It was the right choice for them, and it seems to be. It worked out. It's
such a great story. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking how they had to part ways with Chaos, who's been on the team for so long, just an integral part of TSM. And he's actually not doing bad. He's okay. He sorted out his he had some visa issues with his mom. Actually went and burned that one, but he's going to go to China. A lot of teams are offering him coaching positions, so he's doing well. And then the rest of TSM are obviously doing great. They're very happy with Wild Turtle. He's a colorful character, and he adds a lot of flavor to the team as well as aggression.
And as we jump into Champion Select, Element's computer fixed up. We got these guys in the lobby. Now into the picks and ban screen. Curse versus Vulcan for your final match here of Week 10 in the LCS.
They ban out the redhead. First and foremost against Curse, that's what you got to be looking for. Cop really, it seems like he's almost become too much at home on Misfortune, because it's a very specific playstyle that you have when you play Misfortune because of her ultimate and the range and the safety that you have, that people saw yesterday, you know, he's kind of in that misfortune playstyle, even though he's now being forced onto other ADs, and it takes a little while to adjust to that after playing her so often. So it's a really good ban against Curse, I think. And are you kidding me? Vulcan, they banned out the Kassadin just so Saint can't jungle for me.
You shouldn't whisper so loudly. Renekton getting banned out as well. That will not go to Psycho Sid or Voyboy for that matter in the top. And it looks like Vulcan, with having Karthus up, does not decide to go for the regular Vladimir Karthus, AoE, global map pressure. Like we said, there's resurgence there. That is the word I was looking for.
I can't get a break today here, Riv.
I told you were going to be hung out to dry.
Freaks trolling me. These guys are trolling me.
That was a double team troll.
Everybody. Yeah, like, that was good. Curse set it up, and then Vulcan capitalized. It looks like they are going to pick up that Elise, which is very interesting because Voyboy, it's one of his favorite champions. Everybody loves to see Voyboy on Elise because he pulls out those YouTube clip plays where he just defies death with those acrobatics on his rappel up into the rafters and comes down, surprises you with a kill. But we've seen from GGU that it's a very efficient jungler. Nintendo choosing to use that one, so St. Vicious might even go with it, and they lock in the Fizz too. Looks like Curse gonna have a little fun with this one, try out some new strategies because they know they can't take the top spot away from TSM right now, and this is a perfect opportunity. It's very rare that you get to test a strategy in a serious environment like this, where this is in the studio, this is tournament play right here. This is a real strong test. Curse are not very good in scrims, so this will actually be a very strong new lock-in. Maybe they'll take a page out of Soaz book here.
The Soaz page, indeed. It looks like Voyboy could be getting that if Nijaki takes the Fizz, but we have seen Fizz in top lane as well. Curse getting some creative with their Game 10 in the LCS here, and it looks like going for a lot of blue champions.
Blue's a pretty good color. I'm rocking it today. That's one of my favorites. It looks like on the other side, very aggressive team. Vulcan, I like the all-in from this Vulcan team. Zed plus Draven, very, very, very damage-heavy champions here. And then Udyr, definitely one of the quickest junglers. I really approve of the changes to him. You can now even just go full offense. Udyr, max your Phoenix and your Bear as they lock in the Xerath.
Haven't seen him for a while as well. You know, Link and Reginald pulling out the Xerath quite early in the LCS, and they wreaked some havoc with it for a little bit. I believe that was super weak. The turret pushing days of instantness to second-tier turrets at about 5 minutes in the game. We haven't seen that lately. That's kind of good because it really makes a lull for the mid game. So these guys have been going at each other hardcore all day. We've seen base races, as we've said before. We're waiting for the last pick to round out Curse here in match 10.
So much explosive power on this Vulcan team. Xerath definitely fits into that role as well. We've seen him. You can just burst someone down from such a long range that and it's got such a low cooldown that people have even been burning that ultimate just to acquire a map objective after. They don't even have to make sure that it's going to be a kill. If you get someone low enough and they have to back, go ahead and take a dragon off that. That's a win as well. With another AD carry being hovered over here.
You might get a jungle Ezreal.
It could be. There's just so many options on the table right now for this Curse team because it's looking like Nunu's the most likely for support on this team, but they could switch it up if they really felt like it.
We'll have to see what they lock in. They have 6 seconds to switch it up. It's on Elements. They do lock it in. So we're going to have the swap around coming in. I believe Comp, he has played Tristana once before, so he might take that. And we really... We're going to see Jungle Fizz?
Jungle Fishy.
Saint has jungled Ezreal.
Yeah, he has jungled Fizz as well. So I think that he's going to stick on this one because that was one of the more recent ones that he was ranting about. Of course, he spreads the love. St. Vicious, he does not discriminate. He welcomes every champion into his jungle and tries to use them to the best of his ability. It looks like he's going with an all-in here, going with that exhaust on top of Fizz. Now, if you do build Fizz sort of tanky with cooldown reduction, then he becomes one of the most annoying champions in the league because of that playful trickster move where he hops on his pogo stick, becoming untargetable, and then can jump up in a different direction or fall back down, slowing you. He can just really wreak havoc. Him plus Elise. There's going to be a lot of up and down pogoing here for Curse. and they do a last-minute switch.
They
I
did.
like that one.
They
Locking
did
in the
get it.
SOAS
We almost
style.
didn't catch it. Almost did not. So, yeah, Nunu in the top lane.
Nunu in the top lane. It's going to be
support.
Boy. He wants to see how it is to have the snowball fire in the top lane. And Element's going to be very happy. He loves offensive supports. Elise fits right into his wheelhouse.
So that is going to be awesome for them. A very aggression-forced team here from Curse. And it looks like they do have the dive-ins, but it's not as peel safety for Cop. That's probably why he took Ezreal, having MF banned. But he's like, guys, you're not giving me any safety. Come on.
Yeah, he's like, I know what you guys are doing. You're just going to ditch me. I'm going to go on Ezreal. I'm not picking any other AD here.
So here we are in match 8. LCS Super Week 10. It is the finals before that split, or when the split happens right now. Vulcan versus Curse is going to be that last matchup. Riv and Kobe to bring it to you. Thanks for sticking with us all day long in both NA, EU, and all around the world for that matter as we finish off this week.
Red elixirs aplenty here for Curse as we come out with 3 of them. Doesn't look like a 5-man invade at least. They sent Voyboy up top by himself here, and they just spread out. They haven't even dropped a ward yet. Just body vision.
Well, body vision is vision, but it's a scary one because they may lose each other. We saw last time the focus of that caused a big level 1 fight, but it looks like they stay completely safe here. Curse pushing down into the bush. I haven't seen this in a long time. That first face check could be quite painful.
Not since you were Summoner level 15 or so.
Yep.
Where everyone.
But then it's 5 people. In the
everyone
bush.
rushes
and
those side
gets
bushes.
The best strat in the world.
Zuna might run into this Nunu. It wouldn't be very problematic, though.
Oh,
1 hit. Can he get 2? No,
rude.
he can't even get 2 hits on it. You're just too slow there. You got to work out those Yeti arms. Cop and Elements sitting in a tree down bottom. Will Draven be the first one over there? And if he is, can they even make something happen? Elements already started Cocoon, so they are going to have that 1.5 second stun to start off with. But since he's Ezreal, it's not like the largest amount of burst. They might be able to get a free summoner out of it.
They might be able to get a free Sona out of it because that HP could
You're right.
drop quite quickly.
Very low. And they took some damage from golems. If Bloodwater doesn't pot up pretty quickly before he goes over there, then could be dangerous. Oh, he's going to help with red, so Draven will be by himself for this check.
Uh-oh.
If Draven extends too far, they might even be able to capitalize on it. It is Man Cloud, too. This is Man Cloud on their Draven bottom. This is not Zuna.
Uh-oh, womp womp. Here he goes. Man Cloud gets cocooned up. It's going to be some good damage. Can they get the extra? The Ignite goes down. A few more hits. Cop flashes in for this one. The barrier is there, and the turret comes back, so they've wasted a lot for that, and that could be good for Xmithy.
A couple of red elixirs popped right there, too, and they go back to farming.
So Nijaki is going to be bringing out AP Tristana in mid, just making sure about this one. Going to head over to him. Actually, he's got 75 in the damage area, so it looks like he's done damage for this. Maybe for the last hits, he'll start to build AP on that.
Vulcan almost able to get the quick fires of their auto attacks off to kill that pink board. Not quite quick enough, though. Jackie going ham.
Oh, he does go in. They get the Ignites down on one side. Bottom, though, he gets first blood from the mid kill. The bottom still going aggressive as they know they can pressure this lane.
And that is not an AP Tristana. Don't you guys worry about that. He is going AD. He only has 5 AP from the Ignite Mastery.
Yep. He went pretty hard on that, and I think Xmithy found that out as he went to lane right instant. We'll have to see what they can do to counter this as Psycho Sid is now there to help out.
That was Jackie. Level 2 rocket jump and level 1 explosive shot are his the way he's leveling his skills here. Zuna's doing his best to shove this lane, his hot shot impersonation of the solo top Udyr, but Fizz coming in behind him.
I really like the way that Vulcan spread this one out and exchanged the lane swap. Zuna on Udyr in the top lane, could go down. No, Zuna, the ward's not going to help you, and he does go down to Voyboy and St. Vicious.
Jungle Fizz claims his first.
Finds a kill there. They look to be leveling quite gracefully within this game. 4 minutes in, everybody's about level 4, keeping it at a mid level. We haven't seen any buys come back yet, but a lot of wards for Curse as they know these dives from Vulcan are going to be coming from all over, most likely. Some damage here as Xmithy holding it down in middle.
And for those of you who would like to try out that Jungle Fizz, oh, he's maxing his C's.
Oh, the red buff is
Trident.
ticking. Can he get the next one on? Psycho Sid so close. No summoners there. He goes for the Q, and it's just on the outside of Void Boy. You can hear the gasps from the players.
The players are all in awe after this, when the whole team sighing in unison there.
Oh, man, perfect. 2-0 here as Curse finds a few kills for themselves. They're going to put that on the chalkboard. They're looking for that 5 to get here quickly so they can get some more core items, boots, and a ring going on to Void Boy. He looks to be blinging up in the top lane. Elements and Cop taking some harass down here. Start checking back the potions.
Yep, Mandatory Cloud and Bloodwater have started to shove up here. Mandatory Cloud trying to show his versatility. He's known for playing a lot of champions in the middle, but one of his favorites is Draven. He doesn't get that much of an opportunity to grab him up, taking this chance to show his power bottom lane.
So still pressure from ManCloud, doing a great job catching those axes. Very dangerous apparatus to catch. And he's going to be doing it safely there. Zuna trying to pressure up in the top lane. We got the Udyr versus Nunu up here. A little sustain for Udyr. A lot of sustain for that consume on Nunu. And you're going to see him battling back and forth. Turtle to Phoenix. Turtle to Phoenix. So gracefully.
So gracefully. This Curse team really is quite graceful. They have so many acrobatic moves that they can pull off. St. Vicious on that jungle. Fishy still top. It looks like he's not going to come back, though. He has a red buff still, so you might want to make use of that before it runs out. It's almost going to time out now, and the dual burn will not be there for his next gank. Jackie jumping in.
Ooh, you are correct. That red buff use is optimal. And Jackie getting aggressive in mid. The red buff timed out. Could still be an optimal gank up here. We see Zed coming to mid, so Psycho Sid looking to make some pressure there as we see the top lane. Zuna back and forth. He's going to have to turn into a turtle, and then a bear, and then back into a phoenix, but he can't do it fast enough because he's in the bear one now. He goes down again in the 2v1. He didn't even have a ward that time, and the ward didn't even help last time.
The bear does not come with snowshoes. He just got caught up in the snowballs, could not catch Void Boy. Again, Zuna showing why he is in the bottom lane usually with someone to protect him.
Absolutely. So the claw's not working in the snow, and that's what you're going to get when you kind of transition this quickly. You're found in a different environment and atmosphere, and you're found out for a second. 3-0 is first. Take this up. Smithy getting slammed against his turret. It was like a condemn by Knife Jackie. He puts in another shot to capitalize the kill. Smithy finds himself in the death chamber.
Jackie just being so rough with this middle lane. Buster shot right into his own turret.
He said, what? Boom! And there we go. St. Vicious back and forth, being a trickster.
There's the power of that level 3 Seastone Trident.
Yep.
Sally selling those Seastone Tridents by the seashore. That was just one hit, and he burned off 200 HP of Zed in the mid.
Yeah, that's painful. Kind of locked up there. Smithy looking to get back into lane. We'll see what he buys. Goes for the Dorans. He knows he needs a bit of armor because Nijaki is still building that AD, and he looks like he gets a scepter to sustain the lane there.
All right, man mode time for Mandatory Cloud. He's got his BF sword. He's ready to roll. He doesn't need sustain. He's going to go up against Cop, mano a mano, BF against BF.
So Saint not getting any help for the blue that it looks like he is going to take. Should be able to take that. Actually, his smite is coming up, so he wasn't able to use it. Looks like taking golems back down in the bottom lane for Mandatory Cloud and Bloodwater. He's still being able to call the shots from support. They left that one in there, so good chance.
I don't know if Zuna can hear him. He's been having a trouble up there in the top lane.
He's so far away now.
Exactly. He's so far away. Can't yell all the way across the map. It's a little bit too much. St. Vicious now level 6, so he has the ability to chum the waters. You know what that's referring to? The chopped up bloody fish pieces that fishermen use to attract sharks, and that's why the giant shark does come up. They've got a much nicer graphic for it though. We just throw the little lobster there on the ground, a little more kid friendly.
Every time I go to call that, I now have a vision in my head.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
you're welcome.
So we see again, looking to chum those waters in the top lane and make little bits and pieces out of Zuna for another chance. Third time in a row if they can get it, and third time's a charm. He's like, why are you just freezing those minions right there? I don't want to fight. I don't want to face check that.
And Nunu never shoves because he's so slow. Oh, they're coming in. It's going to be a 2-on-2 cycle.
Here he goes. The water's to be chummed, but here's the Zed to come in as well and slice it, dice it up. The Void Boy ult does not do much damage as they both get out in time. They're able to take down St. Vicious. The ultimate not even ready really to be used.
Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him how to kill St. Vicious, and he will eat for a lifetime.
Absolutely. You're also going to get a good amount of smites as well in the objectives. 9 minutes in, 4-1 here in favor of Curse, and it's only going to be a little bit of gold here in favor of them as well. Up and down as they try to dodge a lot of damage here coming in from the bottom lane of Vulcan.
Ooh, very dangerous spot there. Cop and Elements both escaping, though. Gives Mandatory Cloud and Bloodwater control of that turret, but they don't
going
pressure.
ham on the top lane. Could they take down the bear? Can he get another snowball out? Bam, the shield comes up. The Ignite does not tick over the potion as well.
Oh, little boy, he's no so-ass. Can't finish him off.
Didn't get him. If the ult was up there, he would have been able to do it picture
True.
perfect.
It would have been
picture perfect turret
perfect
dive, absolute zero.
Not quite.
We would have asked to run that in slow-mo. 10 minutes coming up onto this one. St. Vicious back into his jungle. Nyjacky's still pushing mid. He's got himself a red elixir. And look to see the first turret of the game. 10 minutes in by Vulcan. Mandatory Cloud picking his team up some gold there with the help of Bloodwater in the bottom lane. And yes, these guys are kind of playing different positions, if you're wondering.
Yes. What's going on here, guys? Yes, they started out in these lanes.
Jackie getting happy here in mid. He goes for that buster shot. Another one on. Can the Ignite be enough? One last tick. It's enough to take down the Ninja.
Looks like Jackie ordered some catering from Sugarfish here. He's so fed in this middle lane, just killing anyone who arrives in his lane. We have Smithy there. He's acquired the power of the Arcane Barrage, but he's just too scared to use it.
Actually, he's getting some good damage. St. Vicious off on the side. That Chum the Waters is up. They may be able to hit a Smithy here. He has Flash. He has Ignite, so it's a safe play if he does get caught. There's Chum. It goes just behind. There's the Flash. It looks like he's just going to be able to take a picture of that and get back into lane.
The only thing with with top lane Nunu is that he has a hard time clearing waves here. You can see Voidblade really just working up a sweat, using every auto attack, every ice ball, every consume on cooldown, still getting pushed into his turret.
He'll get it soon enough. Push down that lane. Saint giving aggression to Smithy here, but he knows Zuna's on the front side. Support coming in from Elements. The turret being tanked up here is Izuna. Do you want to go that far? They just missed the blast by Zero. The Ignite takes him down. Jackie in, Jackie out, and it looks like they're going to be able to save this one. Save face on this one at 1-1.
Jackie was walking back to recall, but he goes, oh, hey guys, action in my lane. I'm coming back for the kill.
Oh my gosh, Vulcan going in, giving 0 Fs. There's the kill coming in. Shut down onto Tristana. Cobb takes a few axes to the backside, but he gets out. The bleed will not kill, but he takes down Bloodwater as he walks away from the explosion.
And Vulcan have turned their eyes towards the objective, that is Dragon. They're gonna take this one and look to get ahead in the gold, even though it's 3-7. Voidboy wants to answer it. He's got Consume leveled up to 2 already, so he's going for the steal.
Get in there. Can he get the absolute 0 down? It's gonna be some good damage. He's just, oh, does he have enough for the Consume? Oh, he doesn't get it. It goes over to Psycho Sid. Too good on the first time smite. Here comes Saint to come in. Can they give the man a fish to feed? Eat forever, that is, as you say, Kobe. They will. They'll eat him a second time, and every time after that he comes to.
He was able to take down Psycho Sid at least, so at least he got something for his troubles.
You got to get a little more gold out of that fish. Give him some gold to get it back.
Elements doing his best to clear out the wards after all the prizes have been taken. Even puts one into the jungle here of Vulcan. And even though the in-game score 5-8, Vulcan are ahead on gold. So they're really playing the long haul here against Curse. Now I say gold from kills not worth as much from gold from objectives and minions.
I gotta say, what do you think about this Lizard Elder build on that jungle Zed?
You know, I used to love that item, mainly because Vi was one of my mains, but after the repeated reductions to the damage, even though they also lowered the cost, I just haven't been quite as much of a fan. It's a really efficient buy though, as we heard from Nick Move. He said, you know, if you want cooldown if you want cooldown reduction, you want AD, then it's a really efficient item to buy. And the burning true damage is just kind of icing on top of that cake.
Everybody likes burning.
Everybody loves burning.
Especially Annie. 13 minutes into this game, 8-5. 18,000 gold for Curse, and Vulcan has found themselves a lead here. Able to come up with that dragon, a little bit of global gold for themselves, and that turret, which has kind of slowed down the game. They had that aggression in the bottom lane, but it's still been a farm fest down there between the AD carries and the bottoms. Like Smithy just trying to poke out Nyjackie here in mid, as we see Psycho Sid going back to the top lane.
Voyboy has completed his Morel Namicon up in the top lane, so he's going with that SOAS build method. He's trying to slow down Zuna, but here comes the dive.
Psycho Sid from the backside. He does have absolute zero up. He pops it. He tries to get himself around the turret so they can't click him. A real cheeky kind of strategy you can do. You can see Hotshot use way back in the day. They're able to get him, though, and able to get the turret. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, there's the minion wave.
Probably. Yeah, you can make that call. Go ahead. There's nobody close by. They've got this one. Jackie doing work on the middle, but Smithy wants to answer a little bit. Jackie's so close, and Smithy, he hasn't fired off his Arcane Barrage because Jackie does have that rocket jump, so he can just get out of harm's way if Smithy goes to land his full combo.
So a mirror gank in the bottom lane here. St. Vicious doing the same thing Psycho Sid did. Psycho Sid dove the turret. Do you have it, St. Vicious? They are actually going for the second one up top, so I would not be surprised if they go really hard on this one. They need to make something happen. The turret has been destroyed. They are pushing this minion wave as fast as possible. Saint is just going to come out of the bush, and they're going to just brute strength this one out.
Yeah, they can force on the turret. I mean, they could do the same thing where they try and dive, but St. Vicious is much more fragile. All he can do is jump on his pogo stick and then make the turret shoot someone else. It's just going to shoot one of his other teammates, though. Somebody on Curse is going to be taking that turret damage, and not very many of them have much life to tank it.
That's a really good point, because usually Saint's the one to tank it, but when he wants to dive in, he's like, here you go, have it, Cop.
Somebody else is going to grab that, and then Element's going to be like, oh, I repel, I'm not taking it. Cop's going to say, oh, no, it's on me, I'm Arcane shifting out.
And that's what we said in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Comp to just leave Cop in the back.
Nobody wants to take the turret damage, so they don't dive, they just push it down. They decided to go with global objectives. Everybody getting serious here now as we do get into crunch time, past the 15-minute mark.
Absolutely super serial. Zuna taking some damage here at the 15-minute mark in mid as Jackie comes back to lane. They haven't really completed their items, but they have a heck of a lot of kills / probably gold in their pockets. Yeah, 16,000 to Jackie. He actually has 5,700, which is tied up against that is going to be mandatory Cloud in middle.
And Zuna with a shout out to Jat, level Season 1 jungle Udyr style, going with the Wit's End first. We don't see a lot of that item anymore after the changes, but it does give magic resist and attack speed for him to go up in that heads-up match with Voyboy.
Yeah, great choice. Like you said, going up, they do have the magic resistance of quite a few on that team, so applicable buy for an applicable game. Curse versus Vulcan, 16 minutes in. 8-6. The gold lead is slowly increasing for Vulcan as they have found turrets, Kobe. They're opening up the map pressure, but we haven't kind of talked really who's going to have the late or the early game. As we're in the mid game now. As the core items finish, where's that going to start to slide to?
Since we've got a double AD comp here for Curse with a Nunu on it, it's going to look really scary when there's a late game Jackie. Since he's Solotrist, he's also going to get 18 a lot quicker than normal. If you blood boil him, then that's going to be very impressive. But look at this hotshot style Udyr up top. He's split pushed all the way into the inhibitor turret already. So Vulcan don't want to give that one up. They're going to continue to pressure the entire map and just use this gold lead that they've acquired to keep Curse inside of their base and sort of strangle him out from that income.
We'll see if they can do that. Right now, they're kind of playing the spread Curse thin game. They do have some good mobility to get around the map with that blood boil towards the end part of the game, like you said, scaling up with their APs. So right now, they just look to be biding their time, pressuring this mid turret, seeing who makes the first mistake.
It doesn't look like we have any sort of the beginnings of a Frozen Heart for Vulcan, which would actually be a really good buy. And it's amazing on Udyr too, because it gives you that cooldown reduction. Oh, but looks like they're going to go on Jackie.
They try to go on Jackie. There's the attack from Xerath on the backside, but he can only throw off one ultimate before he's pushed out. St. Vicious tries to trickster away. The last attack and the bleed may be enough, but he stays alive. Zuna trying to get out of the absolute zero. And the AoE coming into big effect here for Curse, but it's again seesawing back for Vulcan. Attacks onto Comp. Elements hurt very much now. St. Vicious did find his way out, didn't even have the chance to come back.
Curse's team has a lot of way to dodge damage, but nobody can actually take the hits here. So everyone walking away with little bits of health bars here, and Vulcan just with the regen from that Sona, just the extended fight really plays in their favor right here. Jackie getting on the front lines there, went down as Tristana, and now it's going to be not only the turret, but the dragon for Vulcan.
Absolutely pressuring now a 6,000 gold lead, 5.5 if you will. Saint looks to pick up his blue. He seems to find a little contest here from Psycho Sid. The smite to smite war to begin. Elements makes it uneven.
We may be seeing why everyone's always talking about Curse's scrims and how they don't perform in scrims. They perform in the LCS, though.
Indeed, and absolutely. Coming up to 20 minutes on the game, take stock of the items. Bloodthirster here on to Mandatory Cloud, who is AD for Vulcan this game. Bloodwater staying in the shot-calling support position. We have Zuna taken to the top lane, going for the Wits End build, also building the auras for his team. And it's going to be Psycho Sid on Zed in the jungle. They're throwing the comfort champions they had for the spots in. Curse also pulling out some of the picks we haven't seen this year.
We already have the Home Guard upgraded boots of mobility for this Zed too. So Psycho Sid, he's looking to get fast in the fray. Yes, go fast.
Gotta go fast. Mandatory Cloud next Smithy pushing mid here. He has the blue buff. This is optimal. He's going to be able to use that for more abilities. Happy.
That's going to give him the cooldown reduction plus that mana regen.
Pushing the bottom lane is going to be Cop. 156 actually evens up the CS with that one and gets one more at 159 as he skyrockets above the 158 CS of, that's going to be, I guess, Mandatory Cloud. They're tied up, so they look at that back and forth. I keep looking over. It's like Udyr versus Ezreal. I'm like, no, actually, that's Zuna in the top lane, but that is his position. 20 minutes here. Mandatory Cloud has red buff. It doesn't look like they're going to pressure anything, Kobe. The map is objective free. Again, back to feeling out the fight, but Curse kind of needs to stop their turrets falling without gaining anything from it.
They do. They keep on losing objectives, and you can see the lack of wards. They only really have a couple down here on the blue side. Element's pretty much the only person placing them nowadays. Everybody else saving every penny that they've got so they can buy some new items because they have been losing at the team fights. This Jungle Fizz, definitely top of the list here. He's gone with the early magic pen of that Haunting Guise and the burst from Sheen, and then he's just most recently followed up with a chain vest because he's just been getting hit way too hard.
Oh, Zuna finding himself in a bad spot here, but Voyboy knows it's not going to be a really big chase. He has Cop on the backside. They look to just bait out the fight here. Nothing happening. And really, there's been a lot of engagements and a lot of finds in the jungle. Who has the upper hand in that engagement?
I'd have to give it to the Bears because they're at home in the jungle. Zuna with that zoom. He's leveled up his bear stance to level 4 already. So he can get out of that jungle pretty easily. He makes a nice circle here around to protect his tower as the rest of Vulcan look to pressure middle turret.
We'll see what he can do in that top lane. He has a pretty good farm wave to stop up, so they know he will be pressuring. This means Curse can focus what they have mid. Voyboy is still, actually St. Vicious I should say, still in the top lane, waiting for Zuna to kind of pressure that and give him a little bit of hell. But it looks like they're all going to come up and help and may meet for somewhat of a Baron tango.
It's interesting how St. Vicious has leveled up his Jungle Fizz too, because the solo Fizzes that got so popular from the European scene were always maxing their Playful Trickster first, but he's actually maxing it last. He went with that Seastone Trident first, and then the Urchin Strike second.
Elements got eyes on Vulcan right now. They are going to start the two-man Sneaky Baron. See if they can get this damage in. Zuna is a bit tanky right now. He really doesn't have too many health items under his belt, but they're able to just keep turtling and try and sustain slowly throughout the damage. They see Zed in the bottom lane, so they're like, this can't be happening. Yeah, there's no way.
There's just Vulcan's strategy right now is like an onion. They've got layers upon layers. They've got a split pusher and a two-man Baron, and they're trying to hold middle. So once you crack through the top one, there's a couple more under there waiting to wait. They finish off one layer, they've got the Baron, and they're going for a tower down.
I'm getting teary-eyed. This is looking good, Kobe. Jackie is able to help his team take a turret mid as the Baron comes down, but it's a turret for a turret with a Baron on top. Elements absolutely catching that on the backside too. They go on to Mandatory Cloud. The fight happens in the river. He catches True Shot Barrage right across the face. Jackie getting out of the Xerath abilities, and it looks like the crescendo goes back across from Bloodwater, but he says, this is just for me to run away. And they leave Zuna in the fray. They can't do much for him. Bloodwater slowed. They don't choose to engage anymore.
Some beautiful moves from Curse right there. Very elegant play style, but Psycho Sid, that last layer of onion, pushing down the bottom turret.
And this is that rotten layer for Curse. They don't want this one. This is the one you throw to the side, but Vulcan loves to keep it. They are pressuring it down, and it's a great idea.
They got down an inhibitor turret for that, plus they achieved their Baron buff. So 2 of the objectives were achieved. They just had to sacrifice a few honorable martyrs' lives.
Absolutely here. Almost 25 minutes into this, a sneak Baron coming out from Vulcan helps them to win a fight, just resulting after that. And the turret for a turret was huge. Psycho Sid split pushing on Zed.
Shoulder Colder here from VUL and St. Vicious, both going with Glacial Shrouds.
We'll have to see what they can do. Those cooldowns, again, going to be helpful. They're going to use those to do some damage. Rabadon's coming out for Smithy and mid, so core items being finished. They were probably finished a little bit before, but we're looking at the inventory now. Hex Drinker going to be on to Zuna in the top lane. That's a lie. It's Psycho Sid as I look at the inventory.
They're tricking everybody with this switch up here. St. Vicious wants a piece, though.
Can you kill a Shadow? We'll find out right now. It's going to be another 2v1. It looks like he gets out a little bit better. Zuna's going to have to take tips from Sid. I'm a liar, actually. Zuna comes in. He's not going to take tips from Sid. He's going to dive into the fight and see what Sid did right. Here we go, coming in. He does push out Saint, and it doesn't look like they can kill him. This is very hotshot-esque. He's going to chase these guys back now. Usually it's the other way around, but he finds it, and a cocoon to the face. Backing off. Doesn't like spiders.
Zuna trying so hard.
Whoa.
Jackie now going to go down.
Jackie, oh, he can't turn fast enough. His little Yordle feet.
He doesn't. He's a little shrugging off there. You can see him in the cam though. He's just like, oh, well, I'm dead.
He'll just have to wait for next Christmas.
Next
25
Christmas.
minutes into this one. Smithy looks to get Christmas early with a blue buff steal. No! Oh! Stolen! You only get coal.
Cop comes up huge right there. That is a moral victory.
You see, Zuna looks to steal a little bit more. They said he's not going to true shot Baraz the Wraiths. We'll get that one back on him. So he goes ahead, takes those back. They're going to try to get some more wards up here, which we said weren't coming out early. The team's finally getting them back on, and it is escalating into more of these fights, more control of the objectives from Vulcan, and really people are, to say Curse is an objective team. They go after those, and it looks like they've been turned around on this one by Vulcan. They find a way through the D.
Vulcan just wriggling their way in there. Smithy having a very tough time, though. Kind of feel bad for him. He had a tough go there with Jackie in the middle, and then he gets the blue buff stolen away too. Zuna feels bad for him too. Gonna try and feed him this one, and he does successfully get their own blue buff. And now he's gonna look to go mid.
Delicious.
Jackie says, hey, you got a new toy? Maybe I steal it away from you, huh?
That's exactly what Jackie's thinking. Going down, he wants that revenge, and he also wants that blue buff. Jackie's still building completely AD, and it looks like we really only have not so much of an AP Nunu. He did build the Morellonomicon to the Dorans, but nobody's really a heavy AP for these guys.
Look at these builds coming together for Curse, though. We got Frozen Fist on this Fizz, so he can get in there, slow you down, and then we've also got the Frozen Heart on Boy. He's just turned cold. Puxie's going to be sad. She's going to have to cheer him up after this one.
Oh, that blue buff does look pretty delicious. Is it going to go to Jackie? And it does! He finally gets it. Oh, they get the double blues now. Smithy
gets a kill. Happy days for him. And Cop sees somebody. He's going after Zuna.
And that's... Yeah, go ahead.
Zuna... running from the law right there. Zuna does escape. You're not taking me down, Kappa.
I was going to say that's so unfortunate, right? Because Smithy didn't get the blue when he went over, and it looks like Chum the Water's hitting up Zuna here. Doesn't do too much. He's quite tanky. Saint loses so much health just trying to dive into the fight. Where's the rest of the team? Boy looking to put off absolute zero, but he pops it instantly to flash over the wall. It looks like Curse is going to be pushed out of this one. The bear is just too much, and he's going to get one more claw out to Cop.
Mandatory Cloud going a little deep right there past the turret. Now everybody just taking free damage here from both ADs on Curse.
Bloodwater taking the turret for his team. They got a lot of damage onto Zuna, but here's Mandatory Cloud taking a little bit of front end burst. Juice Shot Barrage clear in 3. 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be Nijackie to try to finish those up. The assist jump. He tries to king himself. He gets one of the kills, but the shutdown goes to Psycho Sid. Bloodwater is in chase. We've seen this before. Running in a dress is quite hard. He goes down. It's going to be the 4 for 2.
Props to Jackie right there. He went for the Goomba Stomp. He only was able to get 2, though. A for effort.
I like the Goomba Stomp. That's a good one along with the chess. Use that. Static Shift coming out for Jackie in middle. It looks like he transferred the blue buff back over to somebody, or it's somewhere right now in the void of people that we have on the Rift. A lot of CS coming in for this matchup. We saw a lot of low CS days, and it's hitting 200 plus for a lot of the summoners now. We got Cloud as well as Zuna, 150 for him, and that's tied up against Voidboy in the top lane. So the lanes that they have chosen are surprisingly going kind of even.
Yeah, they've had some rough days and some good times and some bad times. And now they're 8K gold ahead, so looking pretty. You know, money just kind of makes most problems go away there. So I think Vulcan are looking to just buy.
I think it was more money, more problems.
They're looking to just buy their way out of this, and we'll have to see who's correct there. Actually, that's an interesting debate, because some people say you can't buy happiness with money.
Well, you know what?
I would disagree.
If there was anything to decide it, it's match 8 of Week 10 in the LCS in North America.
Curse and Vulcan
Bar
looking
none.
to settle it once and for all right here.
Vulcan is more money, more problems. Right now, they're up about 8,000 gold, 6-2 in turrets, 11-16. So they've kind of swayed it. Maybe they got the seesaw and kills the other way. They're balancing it out perfectly here. Psycho Sid to push the bottom lane again, and we got the split push Zed underway.
Zuna going full tank mode here. After that Wit's End, he's got the Randuin's Omen on top of it, looking to slow attack speed for both those AD carries if they decide to shoot his way. The Baron has spawned, and then we'll see if they try and pull off another sneaky one. Curse not going to have any of this, though.
The Baron looks quite unhappy right now. He wants to do some damage. Actually, I think he just started hitting Zuna off
He's
that.
tired of that onion. He's spitting on him right now. They sent Zed back to the bottom lane to try and split push, but Baron doesn't want to have any of this. Elements doesn't either. They're hiding in the back. Cop keeps provoking him with mystic shots.
We'll have to see if they can get the damage on. They have to stop Zed in the bottom lane, and really, Nunu's great for doing that. You just shut down someone's attack speed, and they're not going to push anything. Psycho Sid looking to go back.
Jackie's on the run now.
Oh, man.
It's Chase the Yordle.
Jackie is on the run. Psycho Sid, they're going to be able to pinch him out here, but it's going to be... Oh, he jumps over the wall. He was caught before. Psycho Sid predicts the landing zone, and he is still able to get out. Jackie has to blow flash there. His Ignite is going to come up for the next fight. And Voyboy gets taken down here to blood boil Jackie and help him out.
Voyboy's the sucker here. He gets ditched by the rest of the team. All of Curse fleeing back to their base right now. There's no turret down here, though. You're going to have to keep on running.
Psycho Sid and Zuna putting them... Whoa, that was a huge shot on a Psycho Sid. They're going to rethink this one just a little bit. That Infinity Edge, actually, no, the Triforce and Bloodthirster damage, I should say. There's so many 80 carry builds in the inventory right now. It's hard to find the right one. Vulcan pushing out of the base. 31 minutes into the game. Baron, like you said, is up. Dragon in 20 seconds, which may just be the out and bag of chips that Vulcan looks for after the inhibitor.
They get an inhibitor just with the sheer raw power of this Vulcan team right now. It looks like the money bags are paying off.
You know what? I was going to say they were, because it's kind of hard to have a lot of problem with a lot of money. We discussed that, and it's coming true already. We look at the builds right now. The Infinity Edge, we said, was finished on Man Cloud, but it's also finished on a 7-4-3 Nijaki, bringing out an AD carry mid. And the AD caster on Kha'Zix was played, but this is his first AD carry mid here for the LCS.
Curse going with the more economical form of entertainment, too. They've got a couple books there. Another Morellonomicon finished by Elephants. They don't quite have enough to go to the movies, so they're just going to have to use their imagination.
Let's see what the builds are. A lot of mobility boots coming in for Vulcan as they want to either, get that split push coordinated better or continue the initiation. Zuna taking the aura items for his team. He builds up the Randuins, builds up the bulwark for them. And like you said, that Iceborne Gauntlet coming out for St. Vicious earlier to keep the engagements going. Frozen Heart on Nunu. Need we say more? Zuna could be getting caught here. The red buffs are on, and it looks like he's locked down quite hard. That Iceborne Gauntlet locking him up even more. They're using quite a bit just to take down the bear. They finalize there. They get the next effect. They could get out with that Iceborne Gauntlet proc, but it looks like the chase is on as they get the slow on to Voyboy. A good hit coming from Mandatory Cloud. The cocoon backwards was perfect as well. A double kill for Xerath. 3 down now for Curse, 1 for Vulcan, a 4th down for Curse, and Nijaki is in the bottom lane pushing away.
He was pushing the bottom lane that whole time, and Curse decided to engage themselves. They burned everything to bring down Zuna, but that was all they had. Nothing left, and Vulcan just clean them up. They're going to take the top inhibitor turret as well.
We'll see that Nijaki was able to grab that in the bottom lane. Pushed off. They lose the inhibitor. They have 13 seconds before Saint. They're going to go ahead and back out safely on this one. They may even have a good amount of pressure on the middle.
10K gold lead now for Vulcan right there. Both Dragon and Baron up. So a lot of options for them right now. They're going to roll the dice. Decided to go with Wraiths. Wraiths are the winner here. Smithy gets those one. And now they turn their eyes towards Baron. They have an Oracle, so they know that there's no vision. And Curse not making any quick moves over there. So it looks like they'll cede this one over to Vulcan.
Vulcan again extending their gold lead now, 59,000 to 47. The backs to come in, the next items to come out. We'll have to see what they build for themselves. They've got armor pen on most of who they need to really get the damage down. Actually, it's just going to be on mandatory cloud right now. Nobody else. No, actually, yep, Psycho Sid did pick himself up a last whisper recently. So we have that, but there's really not a lot of armor that they're going through besides the hitting up Voyboy.
Voyboy is doing his best to attract people to shoot him, but it hasn't been working quite out because there's so many squishy targets on Curse. They've been going after everybody else.
It's hard to peel, right? Now everybody knows what Cop feels like. Like, dang, it's hard to get away all the time.
Voyboy's been working overtime too. He's trying his darndest. Not quite working out. Breed Dragon on top of that Baron for Vulcan, so they get all the global gold on the map. They get both of their buffs. They've got purple as well, so they're going to run on in to the middle lane here and see if they can get the trifecta. All 3 inhibitors.
You're absolutely right, Kobe. They've pretty much put their name on things. They're just putting a stamp on it. They're not getting contested for any of the objectives. This turret has their name on it as well, and this front door turret may.
They better have spelled it right, too, because that's a tricky name. Vulcan with another U there. Microsoft. A lot of people would argue that that is the inopportune.
Word processors are not your friend. We have this coming in. They are going to be able to take the inhibitor. They have the bottom one open as well. Vulcan looks to pressure the curse base very hard here. Ooh. Wow, Elements, one shot with a static shiv takes him down to a sliver of HP. Oh, he throws the ignite on. Wow, that was a scumbag move. As he runs out of the base, Nijaki trying to get some damage back down. They forced him to jump. They're going to have the minions coming in after this, Kobe.
You can tell that Zuna was one of those kids burning ants with a magnifying glass there because he just ran up to ignite the spider and watch Elements burn down.
Gotta be that guy. 2 Nexus turrets stand now in front of Vulcan. A Cobb did stand, but he falls on his own backside, getting taken out with a long range of Zareth. St. Vicious goes down as well. No fishy play here. A double kill coming in. The triple kill with the 4th onto Psycho Sid. The Nexus looks to be in the eyes of Vulcan. Here comes Voyboy. One last absolute zero for the hay of it. He throws it out, gives us a show. Vulcan takes out Curse for the final match in the LCS split.
What an epic end to the spring season North American split.
Yes.
Congratulations to Vulcan right there, taking that one heads up. It looks like money does solve all your problems.
That's absolutely true, and a great show by both of the teams as well. Pulling out some stops, bringing out some fun things. Jackie having a really aggressive mid. I thought he was going to super carry that one, but the composition coming together at the end. Vulcan, it was really a game of adaptation more than any, right? You have to figure out where they're going to use it, how they're going to use it, and I bet you probably would have loved to be in this game.
Yeah. I could just see him on the edge of his seat there, screaming for both teams as the seesaw.
Look at him. How often do you see him stop and talk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All the time.
You can tell both of those guys. Everyone having a good time here. They finally got a little bit of a relaxation in the studio.
They can breathe that sigh of relief. The split is over, but the playoffs, there's a lot to go. There's a lot of things to still happen. Teams are still matched up against each other, and there's a long road ahead. So
it's going to be serious mode when we come back here next week.
Absolutely. But when we return, we will sit down with 5th place Vulcans, Bloodwater, and Mandatory Cloud. Then we'll break down the matchups in next week's spring playoffs and name our Week 10 MVP. Stick around. Welcome back, everyone, for one of our last fireside chats here in the interview lounge for this side of the split. I'm joined by Vulcan's Cloud and Bloodwater. Congratulations on the win coming in. I got to ask, what was the idea to keep you on support for that game? Because everybody switched it up.
Honestly, I didn't really want to kind of like do what they wanted to do,
He's the only
switch
one that
roles.
didn't man up.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Basically.
So how do you guys feel about that?
We were actually planning to do that, but with Shen, because Chris is known for his Shen. He never stops raving about it, but then they banned it. So we had to pick something else. We went with Udyr.
Right on. So what was the idea? Like, were people comfortable in these positions before, or it was kind of like, this is what we want to do? Because it was really a choose-your-own-adventure book game.
Well, we would definitely catch them by surprise.
Of course.
Chris doesn't play any Draven, and I play that nothing but that as the AD role in solo queue. So that one was pretty good. Smithy plays nothing but Xerath mid in solo queue if he's not jungling. So we're all comfortable on those champions.
But he feeds all the time.
He feeds. But then he comes back every game. So.
So still being able to call the shots from support, this was probably one of the biggest games of instant adaptation that a team would have to do in the LCS because of the picks. How did you guys do it, and what were the thoughts coming into seeing Curse's picks?
I think we were just comfortable on the picks that we planned out to play, and that's just why we came through.
Was there any ideas to come up with lane swaps going into the game when you saw the comp? You didn't? Was there any ideas besides the picks going in?
No. We just wanted to go bottom, basically, and then everything fell into place.
All right, and kind of been asking all the teams, what's the change, in the mentality from Vulcan? Obviously, just coming out of the team. For you, what have you seen the mental change in the team since then?
I think people are a bit more alive, I guess, when I play with them, and they don't seem to give up that easily. And I just love this team, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys pull out a really fun game there, showing the love for the team. It's great to see all the camaraderie. You guys just kind of chatting it up with Curse at the end, too. It was a fun game, and it was awesome that both teams could take it that way. The last game of the LCS split, a lot of pressure relieved off of everyone now that we can see the standings. Congrats on the win once again. We're actually going to throw it over to Jat, who has a quick replay on the day of that level 1 complexity fight.
Thank you very much, Riv. And we heard ClayKD talking about in the interview how Marn decided to plan this one out. They specifically decided to camp in this brush because they thought Complexity might be running through the triangle brush. So everyone on Marn is camped up in this brush right in the middle here. And let's actually start rolling the clip so we can see how it goes out. They missed the hook. And actually, if we can pause the clip right here, we get to see a couple things that are about to happen. Marn Echo locked a red card, and that was good. This was the smart choice. They were trying to get as much damage onto as many targets as Complexity as possible. If you stun one target for a second and a half, it's not going to do much in this fight, but if they get the slows and damage on 3 targets, it's better. Also, watch ClayKD's taunt. He hits 4 with that, and the big star of these level 1 engagements was Marn's Riven. He leveled up Q at level 1, so he could spam his damage, essentially Q1, Q2, Q3, and get all the damage down. He also had the red elixir. Let's roll this clip extremely slowly so you can see exactly what happens. ClayKD, taunt on 4, Mega Zero bouncing around, the red card hits, and Nian Tonso is in the back just cleaning up with these kills. And this fight was actually over before it started. Complexity had no chance of counteracting. Brunshu almost gets the kill onto Mega Zero, but Mega Zero pops his red elixir and flashed away at the last second. So we roll the rest of this at full speed. The rest of Complexity just decides to run away. And this was really the turning point in the game for Marn. And you think that Marn has played the entire season to get up to this point, 7th or 8th. Who are they going to be matched up against in the Summer Promotion Tournament? And that level 1 preparation essentially gave them the victory. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jat. After 10 epic weeks of North American LCS action, here's the final standings for the spring split. In first place, it's Team Solo Mid, followed by Curse in second and Dignitas in third.
4th place belongs to CLG, while Vulcan is in 5th and GGU finishes in 6th.
And rounding out the standings is Marn in 7th and Complexity holding down the 8th spot. Now it's time to name our MVP for helping his team go 5-0 to take first place in the LCS, in the NA, and in the spring split. The Week 10 MVP goes to the General, the odd one from Team Solo Mid.
It had to be somebody from TSM. They've just had such a great turnaround. The odd one, he played consistently in every game. He was involved in 78% of TSM's kills. A lot of people will point towards like Special 2 for that, especially that last crescendo that he threw off. Very, very good play from his as well. Everybody on TSM just playing so well. Special's already going to the All-Star season though, so we had to follow the General. There was this one hiccup for me especially that he did was when he left a couple of his troops at the inhibitor and let them die. That was the only gripe we had. But TSM, they're on a 7-game winning streak, and they're heading into the next week's playoffs as the hottest team in LCS.
Absolutely. So congrats to the Odd One on MVP. And that's just about it here from us in North America. But LCS Super Week continues Saturday with 6 more huge games in Europe. Kicking things off, Copenhagen Wolves take on Dragonborns. Then, Against All Authority battles SK Gaming, and the Dragonborns return to face Gambit.
And next, Copenhagen Wolves battle the Giants, followed by Evil Geniuses versus Gambit. And closing out the day, Fnatic takes on Copenhagen Wolves.
It all starts at 5 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Central European Time. And coming up next week, it's the Spring Championship Tournament. 6 teams battle for the crown, the cash, and the guaranteed spot in the summer split. It all kicks off with 3rd place Dignitas taking on the 6th seed GGU.
Then 4th place CLG will battle 5th place Vulcan, with the winner of those 2 games taking on Curse, and 1st place TSM.
The spring playoffs begin next Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Central European. And that's it for an incredible Week 10 in the North American LCS. I'm Riv for Kobe, Jat, Freak, and the entire live broadcast crew. Thanks for watching.
Just double and end it. I got him. I got him. End it. End it. End it. End it. Hell yeah!
Going crazy, going crazy.
I got ult on Jackie when it comes up.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo! Woo! Oh, if you can finish him. Yes! Good shit. Win this game! Get him, get him. Go! Throwing it. TSM! GG!
I'm almost there.
Okay. I got probably.
Nice!
Lot first.
I'm on deck.
it.